good opening point. It was some return that Taylor Fritz hit.
15 love.
Looking at those wins so far for Taylor Fritz, and two of them don't surprise me all that much. Ugo Carabelli, good players. Komosana, good player. But Berrettini, that straight set win against Berrettini, I thought was a good one for him. Although, I think that Casper Ruud a little more equipped from the baseline than Berrettini, especially on the backhand side, obviously. Just keep things neutral more often, and then attack, of course. That's the idea.
Love.
So nice positive start for Casper Ruud. Quick fire hold to love.
First game.
Yeah, you mentioned just a minute ago, Jan, you weren't sure how far Taylor Fritz could go, but he could potentially go all the way. Do you think he believes he can go all the way?
I do think he believes that. I think he keeps putting himself now in the position to have a great tournament at the Slams. He's done so at all these other tournaments, had great results. He's due for a breakthrough. He's kind of quietly made it here. He hasn't played on Ash yet. So kind of just doing the work. Had a little chat with Mikey Russell, Iron Mike, who's been his coach for some time now. And sort of asked what the idea, without giving away secrets, is today. And it's probably no secret. Says he has to make sure to play aggressive. We've already seen that. There's Iron Mike in the left.
Taylor Fritz to serve.
Play aggressive, dictate the rallies side to side. Try to get out of long points. The long points will eventually favor Casper a little bit. Wants him to take the ball a little bit earlier. We have already seen that in the return of serve. He's gone big on the forehand so far. The idea is, of course, try to take away a little time from Casper, who likes more time. You'll see Casper maybe back up a little bit to give himself the spacing that he likes to play with.
On.
Seeing Casper a little closer than normal returning serve. Right up on that baseline. How about that?
It's good luck when he's throwing down 131 mile an hour first serves.
And Taylor wants to win a lot of rallies like that one, where Casper makes a little bit of an error on the sideline, goes for a little bit too much. The Fritz backhand is so consistent. You get the sneaky slider he'll throw in as well up the line.
Yeah, it's big from Taylor Fritz. 130 mile an hour ace.
1 game all, first set.
Quarterfinalist here 12 months ago was Taylor. Lost out to Novak Djokovic in the end. Again, actually made the quarterfinals without dropping a set in the tournament. He cruised through his first 4 rounds last year.
15 love.
Casper Ruud lost early, second round to Zheng Zhizhen. Of course, having made the final 12 months prior to that. Where if he had beaten Carlos Alcaraz in that final, he would have become the world #1 for the very first time in his career. Has it surprised you a little bit, Jan Mike, the success that Casper Ruud's had, especially on a hard court?
I think he's a determined individual. I think he's put a lot of time into being extremely fit. I like how he competes. He's got a very even keel, doesn't he, with his mental state of mind. So not overly surprised. Obviously his game suited for the clay, but he did some hard work to make it work on the hard courts too. Doesn't seem like he wants to do that same work for the grass.
It doesn't, unless it's golf.
Just plays Wimbledon, doesn't play the lead-up events. Maybe that'll change in the future. The history of our sport, born on those courts.
Two very straightforward service games for Casper Ruud to start off this one. Hasn't dropped a point as yet, and he leads 2-1.
Time. He
does have nice variety on serve, Taylor Fritz. He can bang them down, as we've already seen, at 130 plus, but that one just 102, sliding away from Casper Ruud.
There's that ability to change direction on the backhand. Nice placement right in the corner. Notice he didn't go for the line. Ended up winning the point with it, but I don't think he was going for a winner. Well, we're already seeing that advice and sort of mindset that Michael Russell wanted for this match pretty often. He's going big on the forehand, Fritz. He is flattening it out a little bit. Of course, with that mentality, the margins are a little bit less. A few missed ones. It could really pay off, however, if he can lock in with it. goal of Casper, of course, is with that great spin he can create off both the backhand and especially the forehand. Get it out of the strike zone, make it more difficult for T. Fritz to flatten those shots out.
So Fritz levels things up. 2 games all.
2 games all, first set.
Remember, the US Open app is still there to download. Follow your favourite players. You can track scores, watch match highlights, get player news. And new this year, you can watch live 3D views of all the singles matches as well. It's available on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store as well. Neither player really came into the US Open with a huge amount of form on the North American hard courts. Of course, both of these two went to Paris to play the Olympic Games, so I think that was probably a large reason to do with the slow start back onto the hard courts. Casper Ruud actually had to withdraw from Montreal. Quality hitting from Taylor Fritz.
Great backhand there, good control of that rally. A little bit of a longer point, probably the best exchange we've had so far. Yeah, it's interesting, Adam, you bring up the Olympics. It took a lot out of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Djokovic came here not at his best. Carlitos not at his best. But Fritz has found it, but they didn't really play as much tennis after the Olympics, of course. Those not great results in the summer.
Did you just put it down to the change of going back onto the clay after the grass? Or just emotionally what the Olympic Games takes out of you?
I think emotionally, I think that the surface changes can be difficult to deal with. I think that it's a lot of time spent overseas for a lot of people.
Yep.
That's all the way over there through the clay court season, the grass court season, and then there's the Olympics. I think that's just mentally and physically, it takes its toll. We've seen it numerous times through multiple players really kind of making that commitment to play, struggling a little bit.
14-15.
You're sort of forced to play the Masters events, and you want to. You definitely want to, but with the Olympics added in there, it just makes the schedule really tough.
Well, for Taylor, at least he came away from the Olympic Games with a medal. Of course, won the bronze medal in the doubles alongside Tommy Paul. Yeah, it's a beautiful backhand to come through the game from Casper Ruud. Drops his first point on serve, but so far started this one very nicely, and he leads 3-2.
Time.
So good opening quarter of an hour to this one, certainly in that last game. Just found as though both players were just beginning to get into a bit of a rhythm.
That right there is a perfect example of how coach and player want to play this match. Big serve, big forehand. Take it to Casper a little bit, or a lot. Well, we're seeing a little bit different Casper Ruud today. He is right up on the baseline pretty often. Kind of like it. He has the ability to back up if he wants to. That's in the pocket. He can do that whenever he wants. He's one of the most proficient at that strategy in the world.
40 love.
And Taylor does have the ability with that slice serve to chop you up. If you are too far back, he'll cut you out wide in that deuce court, especially all day long. It'd be tough for Fritz to, or for Ruud to track it down on this faster court. Ability to come up a little closer takes away some of that. Just got to be ready for it when the big serves are coming.
Oh, don't think anyone heard that. Fritz was pretty convinced that he'd come through the game. So Taylor Fritz for the first time able to hold to love. Serve dominating in the early stages here. As perhaps you probably would have expected coming into this.
There's Mikey Russell. Iron Mike, my best buddies.
50 love.
I hear him saying, if stay neutral if you have to, but otherwise try to come forward. Don't go backward too much. Good advice. Been impressed so far with how well Ruud is taking care of his serve. He's serving at 71%, winning 90% of those first serves. 9 for 10. Though, as you mentioned, he hasn't given up a lot of points on serve, just like that one. All the points on his second serve, 4 for 4.
When Mikey first started working with Taylor, did he kind of know that he had this kind of player in him?
I think he did know that. I think that Fritz is happy to grind out there, and then trying to get more offensive is one of the ideals that both Russell and, of course, Paul Anacon's still consultant on the team. Paul was a little bit more involved for a while, and he's still around, and what a good guy to have to bounce things off of, and he shows up for practices and tournaments as well.
Beautiful change-up from Taylor Fritz, and I don't think Casper Ruud saw coming that drop shot.
What spectacular disguise on the dropper there.
15-30.
All that offense held it to the last second. And we're looking at a very fast individual in Casper Ruud. Couldn't do enough with it. Little baby opportunity here for the American.
A little frustrated with that. Hit such a big return off that forehand. And there is Christian Ruud, Casper's dad, of course, former player as well. Made the second round here at the US Open a couple of times.
Fritz starting to make some inroads, hanging around in this game. Our first deuce of the match, and neither player's serve.
Advantage, Ruud.
Well, by some considerable distance, the hardest that Casper Ruud has had to work so far to hold serve.
Ruud leads 4
Little
games to
half
3
look
first
there
sets.
for Fritz, but Ruud does a good job to come through and stays out. Had Casper Ruud at 15-30, but the Norwegian able to dig himself out of just a little bit of a hole in front of a packed Armstrong crowd on a Labor Day weekend here in New York. Taylor Fritz with new balls.
Long 15.
Casper sure has done a great job so far of adjusting to the pace that he's seen come back across the net from Fritz. Has returned well also. A lot of balls back in play.
Again, with that first serve, he was on the baseline there, trying to return it. Step way back for the second. Couple of loose ones.
Love 30.
So we've just seen Ruud hold from 15-30. Fritz has got a hold from love 30 now.
There's that good serve out wide. And think about that match against Jerry Shung for Ruud coming back from 2 sets to love. I think really locked him in. This is the best he's looked.
Oh, just wide. And the first break points of this first set go the way of Casper Ruud.
You see a mouth go in there. That's exactly what I would have done. Oh, Casper lost control of that. He rigged it a little bit. It's a makeable return. Something he normally would not miss. Not much on that serve, only 92 miles an hour.
Yeah, he almost kind of premeditated, I think, that he was going to go to that chip return, and had a lot of time there just to hit over the top of the forehand.
Guarantee he's going to back up on this. Oh, can't believe he missed both those returns. What an opportunity. Good strike on it. Pressure off Fritz there without having to hit a ball.
Advantage, Ruud.
Is it weird to say that Casper's almost returning better closer to the line than he is when he's further back?
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
At least so far in this match, it's a small slice of what the match will be in the end, but he's doing a great job when he's close. So impressed. A little shorter swing on those fastballs coming his way.
Incredible defending from Taylor Fritz after a high-quality backhand that clipped the line from Ruud.
Youth.
Unbelievable defense, Adam. I agree. Those backhands, the one right off the line. What a tough rally. This match is giving us what we thought we would get. Great exchanges.
Yeah, it's done well. Little net cord there, but it didn't put Ruud off.
Advantage, Ruud.
Casper has such great control when he's close up there to the net. It's a nice little shot coming forward off that dropper. And a good volley. Not sure why he put the hand.
I was just wondering why was Casper apologizing there.
Apologizing for his awesome shot. Well, okay.
Fritz was the one that hit the net. so good
Game
from
Ruud.
Casper Ruud, and eventually the pressure tells. Fourth break point opportunity, and Ruud will now serve for the opening set.
Ruud leads 5-3 first set.
Now, this offensive mindset and positioning that we're seeing from Casper Ruud is, boy, has it been effective. I don't know if I saw this coming. It's right up there on the line so often. He's taking time away from Taylor, which is the plan for Team Taylor.
Oh. 15 love.
Hitting the spots nicely as well on the serve, Casper.
Yep, only 2 points lost behind his first serve, only 2 points lost behind his second so far. It's been a little too much of that. 14th unforced error that for Taylor Fritz. Just 6 winners to counteract that, and 4 of those 6 winners have actually been aces, so only 2 off the ground. In just 33 minutes, Casper Ruud has 3 set points. So first set belongs to the number 8 seed, the Norwegian Casper Ruud. Blink and you'll miss it stuff, just 34 minutes on the clock. Taylor Fritz has just struggled to get going so far, and Ruud takes the opener by 6-3. Okay. Not a bad start. Can he complete the set? Three aces and a clean backhand winner. That'll do for Taylor Fritz.
First game, second set.
Anything you'd like to see from Taylor in this second set, Jan-Mike? Well, the strategy is going to remain the same. It's whether he can execute it or not. Go big in the forehand, try to take some time away from Casper, which is exactly what Ruud's done to him. Staying up on the line with return of serve, getting pretty close to the baseline on a lot of these rallies. Taylor just needs to lock in a little bit more. He can't have all those errors that we saw in the first set. Good start there. 15 errors, as I mentioned, in the first, and that's probably has to half that number because Ruud's not giving up a lot.
15 love.
Another big forehand strike from Casper. He's moving and striking the ball so well. Just right up there on the line. Think about all the spin that comes off that racket. Often compared to Rafa, but a righty. Practices at Rafa Nadal Academy still to this day.
40
At
love.
least somewhat.
He said he was never the biggest growing up, so he knew that he had to try and get some kind of weapon in his game, and that is why he's just worked and worked and worked on that forehand. Yeah, there is the Rafael Nadal Academy top there.
Led for settings.
What a place to train, and what a person to be inspired by in Nadal.
So just like he started the opening set, hold to love.
You think a little bit about Rafa, and there's comparisons to be made between him and Ruud as far as the way that Ruud gets up quickly to the ball. Hey, they'll back up if they have to. Sometimes they'll even play far back on the return of serve. I haven't seen as much of that from Casper today. He's doing it on the second serves, not first serves as much. But so fast forward. When anything is left short, they just eat it up.
Love 15.
Yeah, Casper's sister, who I think is in his box as well, Charlotte. She used to train a little bit at the Rafael Nadal Academy. Good player herself. She is actually at the University of South Florida right now. There's Mum over on the left-hand side. And just in the back row there. No, I don't think she is here. Actually, Maria's there, his girlfriend. There she is.
Well done.
30-15.
I guess the question mark is, can Casper keep this up? I've seen him keep it up before. Taylor needs to keep pushing him, keep holding serve. Maybe some opportunities might arise if he can see a few more second serves come his way. Casper's still at 70% for the match.
40-15.
He's been habitually incredibly difficult to break, as Taylor Fritz.
Game, break.
It's a good hold. Only two players have a higher percentage of service games won in the last year, Berrettini and Yannick Sinner.
Fritz leads 2 games
And it's
to
Fritz
1.
who leads 2-1.
Second set. First set, Ruud.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend here in New York. So many people out and about. The queue to get into Armstrong as I made my way up to the commentary booth was absolutely enormous. And I think everyone has now got in. Barely a free seat to be had inside, under the roof. A little bit of rain around. Players being suspended on the outside courts at the moment. Very fortunate to have the two roofs here.
Oh. 15 love.
He's just getting a little agitated, Fritz. Missing a few more balls than perhaps he's expecting to. Just to try and stay positive. It's something that Mikey Russell is so good at doing. Just kind of exudes calmness, does Mikey.
This man is just all business today. Such a cool customer, Casper Ruud. When he plays this brand of tennis, watch out. Kind of tennis that brought him to all three of those finals, Grand Slams, this very event. (2022).
He must be feeling pretty confident if he's taking a backhand like that on. Yeah, just another very straightforward service game for Casper Ruud.
2 game solves, second set.
Just a quick reminder that usopen.org is your online home for point-by-point live scoring, highlights, real-time stats and draws. You can visit the official tournament site at usopen.org.
Line. What a ridiculous return from Ruud.
Yeah.
Just short hopped that. And hit it inside out. That is so difficult to pull off. Well done by Fritz to deal with it. Ball got on him pretty quick.
Out of all the amazing American male tennis players at the moment, Jan Mike, is Taylor Fritz your #1 choice to break the 21-year drought for an American men's Grand Slam champion?
We got 5 guys in the top 20. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a number of them that have some chances. I think Tommy Paul's playing outrageously good tennis, and Tiafoe coming back to play some extremely high-level tennis as well. I still think Shelton has the tools to really be chaotic and difficult to play against.
Yep.
Tiafoe figured him out in 5 sets this year. I do think Taylor is due. They're up against some stiff competition. It sort of feels like the thing, if one of them does break through, it's sort of been the case. One of them breaks through and does it. and then another one thinks they can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of like, oh, semifinal of a slam, and another one does it. They've all had these great successes. I think it's Taylor's turn to make it to those rounds, that semifinal round. If you can get there, well,
40-30.
Joe can do it. Well, Tafo's proven that he can do that. Tommy Paul has proven that he can do that in Australia. And of course, Shelton here last year.
Not only missing, but the size of the miss is slightly concerning. That's in. Of course, Mum was an exceptional player, Taylor's mum.
Advantage, Fritz.
Yeah, massive fist pump from Taylor Fritz. Knows how important it was to sneak through that game. But under pressure again. Casper Ruud still playing very nicely right now. It's Fritz who leads 3-2.
Time.
The level from Casper Ruud has just been excellent. I used to think Fritz can play a little bit better. He's just been almost there. Doing better so far in the unforced errors. So far, at least in this set. A lot of forced errors because of how well Ruud has been playing. The amount of pressure, how close he's playing to the line. Stifling these rallies.
He's barely lost points in his service games. 24 of 26 behind his first serve, 7 of 10 behind his second.
go. That's what Taylor's looking to do.
30-15.
For some affirmation from coach over there. It's the right play.
Okay. First double.
30-all.
Only really the second game I can think of that Taylor Fritz has had kind of a semi-look here. He got to 15-30 on one of the Ruud service games in the opening set. Wow.
You just wondered if there was a game where he might falter a little bit. As well as he's played, it's hard to keep that up.
So first time today, Taylor Fritz has a look at a break point. It's been somewhat gifted to him.
Please. Yes.
Well, think about how gutsy of a second serve that was. Right up the tee, less margin there, of course, to hit into. It's pretty smart tennis from Ruud. Surprised Taylor a little bit on that second serve, especially after a couple of double faults in this game. Went for it.
Oh, it's just enormous hitting. Clip the back of the baseline with the penultimate forehand there.
Advantage, Ruud.
See all that spin that comes off the racket, bringing it down. So much juice on the tennis ball when it comes off the court as well.
He appreciated how good that was. It's just wide. Again, it's the forehand just breaking down for Taylor Fritz, but mini crisis averted for Casper Ruud. First time today that he's just had a little bit of adversity on his own deal. So Taylor Fritz with a little bit of work to do out here on Armstrong. Did just have a look at a break point in that previous game. But Jan Michael, how would you kind of assess the opening hour out on Armstrong?
It's been some just unbelievable tennis from Casper Ruud. The level is extremely high. Taylor's doing a good job of staying with him here in the second set. Just had one semi-loose game. What a a shot.
15 all.
Dead of run there again. Ruud just showing off his speed, his ability to do things on the run, all the way over into that ad court doubles alley to make the return. There he is, flying off the court to hit that up the line.
And that kind of sums up how he's played for the last hour. Barely put a foot wrong. That's so smart. Massive forehand to push Taylor Fritz back 2-3 meters behind the baseline. Perfect
15,
time to throw in the drop
30.
shot. Maria loved that one.
Well, this right here is what Michael Russell's trying to avoid with Taylor being offensive, getting him too far back in the court where Casper can carve you up. He's not one of the kings of clay for no reason. He knows when to use the drop shot. That was beautiful control.
This is just incredible hitting from the 2022 US Open runner-up.
$15-40.
A little bit of variety too, as you see. Slice, the heavy spin. Always gives himself such nice margins on the net. See this put away here? Still a pretty good margin in the net. Which the spin brings it back down. 2 break points.
$30-40.
Huge serving, 131 miles an hour. That's his quickest serve of the match so far. What a time to find it.
Both guys doing a good job on their opponent's second serves. Those first serves come at a premium. Fritz doing not too bad, 65% in this set. In fact, Casper had the same exact percentage on those first serves. But both of them are down in the 30s. On points won on second serves.
Yeah, just couldn't quite do enough with that volley, Ruud.
Advantage, Fritz.
Pretty impressive shot right here. This backhand right at Casper. Pretty difficult ball to put away.
Well, what a hold this would be from 15-40. And another ace sees Taylor Fritz through. Enormous moment in this second set.
Fritz leads 4-3, second set. First set, Ruud.
Yeah, such a huge hold for Taylor Fritz there. Would have just rubbed salt into the wounds. Obviously not converting on the break point that he had in the previous game. If he was then broken there, could have easily just taken the wind out of his sails. Found himself 2 sets to love behind. Some big serving to see him through the game. Couple of aces. Got the unreturned serve at 15-40 as well. Just keeps him out in front.
Time.
So Taylor Fritz coming through a massive game last time out, saving those break points. Both players have now saved break points in this second set. Really would have began to fear for the American had he been broken there. That's been the shot. He's been missing a lot long with that forehand, just been flying on him.
I think it's difficult to deal with all that spin and speed coming off of Ruud, especially when he's playing so close. I think a lot of players are used to playing him when he's further back.
And there's another, and it's way long.
30 long.
It's almost as if Taylor needs to just maybe take a step. I'm not wanting to be defensive at all. That probably won't work out either, but maybe one step back so he can deal with that, as Casper's so close. Might give him time to hit through the ball a little bit more before he then move in, of course, if he gets a shorter ball.
Yeah, it's caught the line.
30-15.
Good play there. Taylor is doing a good job on second serves. Good step there. That shoulder turn allowing him to do anything with that ball. He could have taken that up the line as well. Pace return. Casper mistiming it. Look at how packed Armstrong Stadium is. And it's all the way up to the top. The top seats all full. Just awesome, the crowds this year. Sure helps to have 4 Americans still in the draw. That's just on the men's side. The women doing excellently as well.
40-30.
Like you saying, stay down a little bit, pulling off some of those shots. Good advice.
Quality from Taylor Fritz. Another little opportunity here.
Yes.
Good job. Let's go. Come on.
I think the wind just might be stronger than I realized going this way.
We got this way. Come on, come on, come on. We got right here. Come on.
So he thinks the wind is playing a part?
Taylor talking about the wind out there. I don't know if there's a lot of wind, but he's concerned. See that man in the green hat, Wolfgang Oswald, fantastic trainer, been on Team Fritz for a while. Sitting next to Mikey Russell.
Obviously, you're watching thinking, well, the roof's closed. How is there wind involved here? Of course,
Right.
it is still quite open
Very
here
open.
in Armstrong.
Very open the way they've designed this stadium. The wind can still come through. It is an outdoor tournament after all. They're protected from the rain. Pretty brilliant design.
There's Guy, Taylor's dad.
The last couple games, all of a sudden, Taylor's starting to make some inroads.
I'm a little scared to like swing on this side. The ball just goes so much.
Come on, this way.
Yes, he obviously thinks the wind is kind of directly behind him from the end that he's at right now. He just said he's a little scared to swing properly this side as the ball's just going so much.
Always interesting to listen in those chats with the team.
There's definitely more encouragement here for Taylor Fritz. Second consecutive Casper Ruud service game, which he has a look at a break point. All of a sudden, Christian Ruud not looking quite as content as he was half an hour or so ago. Well done. Fritz did a good job just to make him play another overhead there.
What an effort there from Taylor. That last overhead. Boy, did Casper take that close to the line. Well done. That offensive mindset has paid off time and time again in this match.
Advantage Ruud.
Yeah, as you can see, roof still firmly shut out here on Armstrong. Play has resumed on the outside courts.
I could be wrong, but I don't think they can open it back up now that it's been closed for this match. I don't think they would do that.
Yeah.
I would be irritated if I was a player that thinks of opening and closing, opening and closing. I want to keep the
Yep.
sort of the situation surrounding matches the same. They will probably open it up if the weather is going to be better for the next match.
See what he was trying to do with that final backhand. Just drop that ball over the net, make Casper Ruud hit up on the volley. Shot that he normally plays pretty well, Taylor Fritz. Alex Stober there on the left-hand side, spent many years with Dominic Thiem as his physio. Now working with Casper.
He was an ATP physio before that. Lovely guy. Chat with him the other day. It was nice to see him. He used to work on me. I needed a lot of work.
So Ruud survives again. But from a Taylor Fritz point of view, things are just looking a little better out on Armstrong right now.
Second set.
I think he's just saying to Orally Taught that the sweat is actually coming off his top and his shorts, so just wants one of the ball crew there just to wipe it up, or in fact Casper's going to do it himself, which is very nice.
That is nice. So it's his mess.
Didn't love what I saw from one of the WTA players yesterday, one of the ball crew. She has apologized since, which was good. Yulia Putintseva.
Yeah, that wasn't great. Casper is dripping. Look at that kit. He's going to need to change it. Expected to leave the court after this set.
Ball crew do such a great job. Such long days for them as well, in sweltering temperatures sometimes.
Love 15.
Always felt like a please and thank you. Maybe not a please, but thank you when the ball's tossed. Anything that they do out there. They're also human beings, and you're right. They do work hard. Hard work. And it's humid for them also.
Flirted with the baseline.
Important game here for Taylor to just assert himself on serve. I say that because the last couple games he's had looks at the Ruud serve, didn't get him. You got to be careful you don't get down on yourself a little bit on your own serve after that. Better to look at it as, hey, I'm really putting the pressure on this guy. If this does get to a tie break, like my chances, as I'm making those sort of inroads, putting more balls back in play. Hold the serve and get there.
With what we've seen the last few days, Jan Mike, with obviously Djokovic going out, Alcaraz going out, how hard is it to kind of stay grounded, just focus on one match at a time, not start getting carried away with yourself?
I'm not necessarily convinced it's any harder than it ever is. That's already hard.
Yeah.
To stay in the moment. Stay in the moment, point by point. Let's just stick to the plan. Let's compete. Only guy in this tournament that should get out of that sort of mindset, I think, is Medvedev. He's the only one that's won it before.
Sure.
Sinner, perhaps, won Australia, #1 seed, might look at the draw and have a thought or two, but you still got to beat the person in front of you, and you have to win the next point. It's not over until the last ball is struck. I feel like I was able to look down the draw and say, oh, that's a guy I might play at such and such time. There have been players, of course, the big three, namely, that you could imagine. We're looking down the draw, so oh, that's Rafa in my semi.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if it's Federer or Novak.
Game Fritz.
So Fritz comes through. And now Casper Ruud will have to hold serve to stay in this second set at 4-5 now.
5 games to 4, second set. First set, Ruud.
Complete difference, really, the second set to what we saw unfold in the opening set, in which serve, on the whole, completely dominated. Just that one break of serve for Casper Ruud that he was able to take. But other than that, service games were just kind of flying by. So certainly in this second set, both players, you feel, have just been put under a little more pressure on their own deal. Fritz has had those 2 break points. Casper Ruud has had a look at 2 break points as well. But ultimately, we still are on serve.
Time.
Yeah, pretty humid out here today, so the ice towel's very much in effect for both of these two during the sit-downs. So the last two times Casper Ruud has stepped to the line, Taylor Fritz has had a look. And the pressure is just ramped up a little bit here, serving to stay in this second set. Here's the Norwegian, 4-5. It's a rock-solid opening point from the number 12 seed.
Love 15.
I think Taylor feels like he feels better on that side of the court. You talked about the wind a little bit. Hitting into it now as far as what he's concerned with. Could be a good sign. He's made less unforced errors so far in this set. We've gone deeper in this set. He's only at 10. He had the 15 in the first set, much quicker set as well. That's higher level from Fritz.
Love 30.
So just a little shout of "come on" underneath his breath there, Fritz. 2 points from the set.
(15-30).
See Casper checking the court out there. He's stripping so much. He's worried that he could slip on his own sweat. It's that humid today. There's example of it.
Yeah, did a match in Washington, I think it was earlier this year, and I think he was already taught in the chair, and she actually forced David Gauff off the court to go and change his clothes because he was absolutely wet through.
She taken by the collar of his shirt.
Yeah, come on.
Get over there.
It's great serving.
40-30.
Fritz looked convinced that that was wide.
Mr. Fritz requesting the replay of the call on the left near sideline.
The ball looked like it was right on the line or inside it.
Yeah. So good. What a return from Taylor Fritz. Even got a little round of applause from Casper Ruud, who appreciated how good that was.
Evidence that on that side of the court, Taylor a little more comfortable to drive through the ball. As you mentioned, the wind moving toward him now allows you to hit through the ball a little bit more.
Brilliant from Taylor Fritz. What a time to come forward. Haven't seen it too much today, but when he has come to the net, he's been very, very good.
Advantage, Fritz.
Couple of great backhands up the line. Just enough of a split step to avoid that ball getting tricky to volley.
So set point. I just wonder whether Fritz thought that ball was going long.
I thought that ball was going long. And that's crazy. How did that ball land on the line? It looked like Casper lost control of that shot.
So the towel's back out to wipe up Casper's sweat.
Janitorial duties a part of the narrative for Casper on the court today.
Just try to sneak in, catch Taylor Fritz off guard. Fritz did a good job with that backhand, got it down nice and low.
Fritz.
I feel like the movement's slightly impaired because of the kit being that wet for Casper. He needs to change it.
Look at him.
Stopping socks, you think about all those things. That is so hard when it's humid like this to play tennis. No matter how many times you've done it.
It's a shame that the set has to end on a double fault, but it is a fabulous response from the number 12 seed, Taylor Fritz, who levels things up on Armstrong. Some start from Fritz. Beauty of a forehand. It's his 6th forehand winner. So good start to this 3rd set for Taylor Fritz. Both players, of course, leaving the court at the end of the 2nd. Both have come back with brand new outfits. So hopefully Casper is nice and dry.
C15.
Pretty impressed with Taylor Fritz able to just be slightly more consistent while staying offensive. Yeah, about that. Good start here in the 3rd. This is now a 2 out of 3 set match.
Second double in the game.
40-30.
5th in total.
He's going pretty big on those second serves. 107. Sort of a slice more than it was a kick. He has both in his repertoire.
goodness.
Yes.
I saw Botic van der Zandschulp yesterday serve 5 consecutive double faults.
No, you didn't.
I did.
How's that possible?
I know. Served 2 at the end of one game to get broken, and then started his next service game with 3 in a row. It's now 3 in the game for Taylor Fritz. He's so annoyed at that, Casper Ruud.
Fritz.
Second serve return doesn't get Fritz to play another ball.
This just shows you how locked in you have to be to play at this level. And both players leaving the court. There's about 5 minutes they didn't hit a ball. It's easy to lose your rhythm. They're going to have to get it back. That's exactly what I'm seeing here. That's a return that we've not seen Ruud miss all that often in the 3 double faults. Evidence of it.
Well, he certainly wasn't lacking in rhythm in that point, Taylor Fritz. And he'll be delighted to come through the game after the 3 double faults.
First game, third set.
I don't know if it's still the case, but he used to, a couple of years ago, he used to have the lightest racket on both the ATP and the WTA Tour, Taylor Fritz. I don't know whether he has changed that. I know he was tinkering with it, but said he went to a slightly heavier frame and just couldn't get on board with it. So I'm assuming it's still one of the lightest out there.
Which allows him to be extremely whippy with it. Just like I believe Rafa had a smaller grip than a lot of different players, so you could really kind of whip through with that.
All right.
As well. That's what you're comfortable with.
Did you tinker a lot with rackets and weights and grips and all that stuff or not?
I still play with the same racket that I played with my entire career.
Really?
Prince Thunderbolt, which I think is the best racket ever. I did tinker with the weight on it a lot.
All right.
Spring tension, not so much. I didn't really like messing with that. String it very tight. It was a powerful racket. So I needed it to be a little tighter, but I needed to have some swing weight on it. At one point I had the fastest, or the heaviest swing weight, not the heaviest racket.
And the difference in that is what?
Well, it's when you're hitting the ball,
Ball
how much is coming through when you're swinging. I hit a pretty flat shot, so I didn't really have all that spin that you see so many players these days. I was trying to get depth on it and penetrate through the court, especially on return of serve. And it also helped me to hit a bigger serve, so that was sort of the idea.
Oh. 15 on.
So looking to probe straight away here, Taylor Fritz. Door is just ajar.
It's a nice serve there.
30 on.
It's the first serve that Casper's made so far in this set. 1 for 4 in the first serves. He's got to get that number back up to where we've seen it, which is just above 60% for most of this 2 sets that we've witnessed.
So Fritz making his move. An early look at a break point.
30-40.
They're just trying to encourage him through the game. And that is a bit of a gift in the end from Casper Ruud. And what a start to set 3 for Taylor Fritz, who breaks straight away to lead by 2 games to love.
Fritz leads 2 games to love, third set.
Positivity from the crew.
Yeah, there's Lily there, the bottom right, who is Mikey Russell's wife. Pretty much travels all year with him, doesn't she?
She does. They are 2 of my favorite people. Try to see each other as much as possible, but they are very busy.
Set the point up beautifully at Fritz.
I think that's a good example of the lighter racket. What he's able to almost pull off there, just use the hands to almost force that ball back into the court. I was thinking of an analogy that would work is if you have a katana blade, which goes through the air pretty quickly. That's your weapon of choice. Or a mace. A mace, harder to swing, but once it gets going,
yeah,
do a lot of damage if you get hit by one.
Hopefully that never happens.
I would prefer not to be hit by either.
Yeah, same.
Nice change up there from Taylor, wisely going to the kick serve. It's a little slower than that slice serve that he can hit harder, but less margin on it. We've seen some double faults in this set from Taylor, so he's changed up his rhythm on it. He's gone to a different choice. I love that.
You hear a lot spoken, Jan Mike, about tennis IQ. Would you say Taylor Fritz has a high tennis IQ?
I think it's extremely high. I think sometimes he overthinks.
Yep.
You hear him talking about the wind out there. You hear him talking about different kinds of strategies while he's on the court. And he's so good, he does have the ability to change up his strategies a little bit. Making those kinds of changes on a serve is that's just smart. If you just missed 3 in the last game, you have the ability to change it. Do it. I think that Iron Mike and Taylor have a lot of good conversations.
The turn is just long. And Taylor Fritz has raced into a 3-love lead in this third set. It is all changed out here on Armstrong.
Third set. 1 set on.
Majority of this crowd will be loving what they are seeing right now. Just 10 minutes shy of the 2-hour mark, and Taylor Fritz has the break in this third set, leading by 3 games to love.
15 love.
2 titles for this man this year. Delray Beach, that was back in February, and then one on the grass in Eastbourne, not for the first time that he's done that.
3rd time, right?
It might well be, yeah. I think you're right.
So
yeah.
I think he might be crowned the king of Eastbourne. He's could be given perhaps the key to the city if he wins that again.
Yeah. Did make the final in Munich as well, where it was snowing that week, remember?
15 all.
Slightly different conditions here.
C15.
Pretty impressed with Taylor Fritz being able to stay with Casper Ruud and sort of find a way to get ahead in this match where Casper played so well for most of the first 2 sets. Just an excellent first set, almost impeccable tennis from Ruud there. Fritz found another gear and a way to get into the serve of Ruud in the second. He's carried that through now here into the third. Way fewer unforced errors.
C15.
Caught the line with the backhand, so Ruud, importantly, make sure that he stays just that single breakdown.
Fritz leads 3 games to 1, 3rd set.
Remember, you can stay connected to the US Open on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and WhatsApp. You can join the conversation with us. Hashtag US Open is where you can find us. Let us know your thoughts from the opening week of the US Open, what you think is potentially going to unfold in the second. Big upsets in the men's side of things, especially. We're going to see a new US Open champion.
15 love.
Well, this is gear 2 for some of these strokes from Casper Ruud. He can go a lot heavier on the ground strokes. He's been trying to play up on the baseline, hitting the ball big, take away time from Taylor Fritz.
Oh, it's just... Did he make that? No.
That would have just been the shot of the tournament.
30.
I thought Fritz was fist pumping then.
Oh, Casper almost looked like Casper wanted it to go in. I know he didn't, but watch Casper's face if we get a camera angle on it. Never mind.
Would that have been better than Muhova's? Did you see hers?
I didn't see that.
Oh, look at it. So good.
30 all.
Pedro Clar there in the middle. Also works with Casper. You see him on the road with him quite a lot throughout the year. Yeah, nice to have that, isn't it? Under a little bit of pressure there at 30 all. Just send down the 125-mile-an-hour ace. Ace number 16 today, only 2 for Casper Ruud.
Well, those piled up pretty quickly.
Yeah, they have. I agree.
16?
Yeah, good volley from Taylor Fritz. And despite Casper Ruud getting back to it, just wasn't able to execute.
Fritz leads 4 games to 1, third set, 1-7. Time.
So some fresh towels being delivered to Taylor Fritz. Just coming up to 2 hours on the match clock, and he's done a really good job of turning this one around, finding himself 4-1 in front. Just a single break in this third set so far. Casper Ruud has been punished for only making 3 first serves so far, just 3 of 11. Yeah, make that 3 of 12.
That's not going to cut it. He's got to get that first serve rhythm back. He was so good in the first 2 sets. I know he was broken in the second, but you think about the sets, he didn't face really any stress whatsoever in set 1, that 6-3, and then midway through to the end of it, Taylor started to get on the serve a little bit. So there's a little more pressure for him to produce a good first serve here. Start to feel the good returners when they keep putting balls back in play. Sometimes that makes you sort of overcorrect, hit too big. And that can cause the percentages to go down a little bit when you're pressing. We've seen that, I think, in this matchup. So you got to give the credit to Taylor there to find a way to do that. See that stay down and through the ball. I have no idea why he thought he needed to jump at that backhand up the line. Pulled the shoulders up, the ball went with it. It's a difficult shot to make in the first place. into it. Excellent.
30 all.
Leaning into that two-hander there. He's keeping the pressure on the 8th seed.
Very important first serve.
40-30.
Both players have been great behind their first serves throughout the match. Casper Ruud 38 of 45 points, one behind it. Fritz 33 of 40. Just wide, so Ruud
New balls, please.
clinging on here. But he is very much still in this third set. Just that single break still.
Fritz leads 4 games to 2, third set.
I like that backhand up the line much better. He did miss it wide, but he hit through that one nicely. He missed a ball like that. No big deal. Can't make them all. Taylor also on the first serve percentage a little low in this set, 37% so far.
Love 15.
Well, he's at the end of the court now where he's been kind of blaming the wind. It's a familiar forehand that we've seen throughout the match, certainly in the early stage of the match, that forehand just going long.
Seeing a little bit of plan C here from Casper. My plan C for him is chip the ball a little bit more, slice the ball a little bit more, chip the returns. Plan B is to go heavier, move back. Plan A, which is at least today, has been to go bigger, get closer to the line. Pretty amazing to have all those different abilities.
Yeah.
You really can do it all. Makes him so difficult to defeat. He can keep changing up the strategy. Plan C is going to work.
Yeah, he actually said after his last match, Casper Ruud, that he feels as though he's a very tough player to beat because he can, just exactly as you've been saying, Jan Mike, he can win matches in different ways. He said he feels physically better than a lot of players out there. Mentally, he feels he's stronger than a lot of players out there.
I think that's just an honest answer. I think that he's not a person who brags at all. That's just the truth. He can do all those things. Well, there's plan A, but Taylor was ready for it. Look at that redirect.
40-15.
Huge forehand. Didn't even swing at that barely Taylor Fritz on the two-hander here. Let's look at it. Just a little nudge. Almost a half volley. Look how low Taylor's had to get to make that work for him. Great fundamentals there.
The beauty of the tennis scoring system, they've both won 81 points each, but it is Taylor Fritz in control right now. And even more so as he moves to within a game of a 2-1 lead over the number 8 seed Casper Ruud, who will now have to try and hold to stay in this set.
2 third sets. 1 set up. Time.
Eighth seed Casper Ruud serving here 2-5, third set to stay in this third set.
This time the ball just flying on Ruud from this end of the court. We would love to break here, Taylor Fritz, and then start serving in the fourth. Just keep applying that scoreboard pressure here to Casper Ruud. Always hard watching. Just hasn't had enough points like that because of that first serve percentage, because it's been so low. Just 8 of 20 first serves that he's made in this set.
So come the fourth set, I should say. This is what Casper Ruud needs to figure out again. Served so well in the first and quite well in the second. Still not completely out of this set.
So just his third ace in this match. And he says, over to you, Taylor.
Fritz leads 5-3, third set.
Hasn't faced a break point so far in this set. First serve percentage is a little low from his point of view as well, just down at 46%. He's been able to defend that second serve nicely.
Really good energy level from Taylor Fritz.
15 love.
Remember, this is the side of the court that he really likes. He says he's hitting into the wind here.
Near 100-mile-an-hour forehand there from Taylor Fritz, 97. Wow. What a second serve that was. 104 miles an hour, ace number 17.
So he missed a few of those early in this third set. Some double faults with that slider. He's able to hit it harder. He's used the kick serve pretty often on the second serve as well, so it's been really intelligent serving. And that's just great placement there. probably the easiest place to take a sliding serve is that very spot in the deuce court.
Well, that is a gift that Taylor Fritz will very happily accept at this stage. And this packed Armstrong crowd tries to get Taylor Fritz over the line here. 2 set points. Number 18 gives Taylor Fritz a 2-1 lead. It is to start us off in the 4th.
Casper did such a great job. Some of the best tennis I've seen from him in a while in the first set of rushing Taylor Fritz and really making him feel uncomfortable in the rallies. Returned extremely well. He's got to get back to that. It's not easy to do. As Taylor now quite locked in the ground strokes. Can't point out how solid of a drop shot that is off the Ruud racket. Let's look at this. Perfect amount of backspin. Look at that ball spinning. Barely even bounced. That is not easy to do in a hard court.
I think it's easier to drop shot off the forehand or the backhand side.
Well, for me, it was easier off the backhand. I had a hard time with the forehand. I think players like Casper Ruud, who do really well on the clay, have cultivated off both sides. Disguise is important, your ability to put a little bit of backspin, change the grip quickly. Some players only just have to open their racket up and can do it. And those are the ones with the great drop shots.
Oh, so big from Taylor Fritz. Massive injection of pace.
30 on.
Some positivity there from my buddy Billie Russell. That's the forehand that he's been missing this side of the court. If he figures that out, he'll be in even better shape here.
Gambled the right way.
This is excellent from Casper Ruud. Fantastic intuition to cover that shot. He did leave the line, but Taylor didn't go there.
being out hit on that forehand side for probably the first 45 minutes, hour of this match, Taylor Fritz, but from that point onwards, he has not looked back. That is his 14th forehand winner compared to just the 11 for Casper Ruud now. Well, we have not seen Casper Ruud serve and volley too often today. Just trying to maybe shock Taylor Fritz there.
Shock me.
Yeah.
Tough ball to come in on. A little chip shot. Stayed pretty low. It's tough to volley. It was underspin versus underspin as well.
What a chance this is. Absolutely brilliant tennis from Taylor Fritz. It was a patient point. He just waited for the opportunity to pull the trigger, moved in, executes the volley, and is an early break up in the fourth.
First game, fourth set.
And this is today's hard court tactics right there. Go big from the baseline, get closer and closer to that baseline if you can. Drive your opponent backward. Come in off the floated ball, especially the first ball that floats. Easiest one to put away. Look at the fundamentals in this volley. Everything right out in front. Kept it very simple. What a turn this match has taken.
Absolutely extraordinary turnaround. Just with how well Casper Ruud was playing for the first hour. I mean, he barely missed a ball in that first set.
Early break in the third, now an early break in the fourth. Casper Ruud is reeling. He has some things to figure out. He's only broken one time in this match. Of course, that was a while ago.
Yep, right on the line.
15 love.
And he's really figured out the length on the forehand. That was the issue in the first set. Besides Casper's great play, for Taylor Fritz, it was just too many errors. Too many long shots on the forehand, but he's brought them down.
30 love.
Is Taylor and Mikey Ross, are they into their data, their video analysis, crunching numbers, stuff like that?
I think Taylor's very much involved in knowing every facet of his game. Mikey Russell likes to keep things simple, but he's going to work with the player that he has, and
yep.
Taylor's a thinker.
Oh, yeah. Excellent pass from Casper Ruud.
I think a smile there from Taylor.
Yeah.
What a shot. You know what you want to do, though, is make your opponent hit these kinds of shots to win points. This is a great point from Taylor Fritz.
40-15. Game, Fritz.
Yeah, just guessing the wrong way there. Casper Ruud was gambling on the slider.
Fritz leads 2-0, 4 sets.
Lots of people very quickly flooding back into Armstrong, just nipped out at the end of that third set, top up their glasses, get a little bite to eat.
Just so we're clear, nipping out and popping out are different, right? Nip is shorter period of time.
To popping out?
Yeah, if you're gonna pop out or if you're gonna nip out,
No,
which is longer.
it's a good question.
Well,
I would
know the answer.
say they're both
Love
just a
the
very
team.
brief period of time.
Well, what's the difference then?
Well, there isn't. It's just just a synonym.
Fair enough.
Is that not a? You don't say that in America? Just popping out.
No, we don't.
What would you say? I'm going out.
Leaving. I'll be right back. I do like it though. I love the British.
I feel like
lingo.
I've given you quite a few phrases throughout the last few
I love
weeks.
them all. I just got to know them. My brain wants to learn.
Asked to borrow your jumper yesterday. You looked at
I
me like
know.
I just landed from a foreign planet.
And I'm happy to hand you my sweatshirt. Actually, that was a sweater. You guys don't say that. Another good backhand there from Fritz. Look at the 2-0, and he's still just looking to break again. Casper Ruud in real trouble here.
That would have been absolutely ridiculous if he had made that drop shot, but what a point of this match by far.
And the quality of tennis from Taylor Fritz now is like he's playing a video game, and he loves video games. Is he just playing a video game right now? He can't miss the ball. That was a shank forehand, it's still winning. Short hop off the baseline. Just can't miss.
You kind of feel as though this could be the match right here.
Somehow breaks here. It's unlikely. Casper breaks back twice.
Maybe just the lack of pace on that first serve, the undoing there. Just 82 miles an hour, just rolled in. Well played.
(30-14).
Three in a row there.
Yes.
That's impressive from Ruud.
Yeah, not too happy with that backhand.
Led for service. Advantage, Fritz.
A lot of hard work to get back to deuce. The double fault. Well, that's a sign of how well Taylor Fritz is returning the pressure he's putting on Casper from the baseline.
It's another double fault. And Taylor Fritz is absolutely charging towards the finishing line here. Double break in front now in the fourth. And at the moment, it feels as though it's just a matter of time.
Time.
Well, I think at the moment, even the most hardcore Casper Ruud fan will be struggling to make a case for him fighting back in this one, the way that it's looking at the moment. Taylor Fritz is just completely taken over here and got that crucial double break lead. Looking for back-to-back US Open quarterfinals. Was US Open junior champion here was Taylor Fritz back in 2015. Quiz question, who did he beat in the final?
Oh, should I take a guess? I feel like I actually don't know, have any idea. I'm just going to say Tommy
Fellow,
Paul.
well done.
How about that?
Was that a guess?
It was a guess.
An educated
guess. Here are the two of them playing such great tennis again.
Yeah.
Main draw.
Because didn't Tommy get Taylor at Roland Garros Juniors in the final? I think I'm going to say. I'm worried that I've just made that up.
I thought he beat somebody 0-0 in that final.
In the Roland Garros Junior final?
Fortune do a little homework. 4-0.
Fritz leads 4 games
crowd
to
ecstatic
love,
at this result.
4%.
It's the majority of them.
Yes, I was right.
You were right.
Tommy Paul beat Taylor in the Roland Garros Junior final in 2015, and then Taylor got his revenge right here.
Okay, here we go. Come on, let's get ready. Come on.
Well, it's a lot of tennis to still be played, but they are on the opposite sides of the draw here this year. Paul, of course, playing Yannick Sinner.
15 love.
In what I assume, well, I don't know everything. I would assume it'd be the night match tomorrow night on Ash.
You would think.
If it's not, I won't know what to do with that information. But
in fact, I can tell you right now.
Can you?
I think.
There you go.
Yep.
Second on after Iga.
After Swiatek Samsonova. Diana Schneider, Jess Pegula start the day on Ash, and then Nuno Borges, Daniel Medvedev to follow that one.
Sounds like a great day on Ash.
Well done. And again, a little smile on the face of Taylor Fritz. Good tennis between the two of them. And Casper Ruud at least is off and running in this fourth set, but still has a bit of a mountain to climb here.
And by 2-1.
You can see that graphic there, just how much Casper Ruud has struggled behind his second serve the longer that this match has gone on. Barely lost a point behind it in the opening set, but from thereafter he's barely won a point. Fritz has just eaten it alive. Two games away from the quarterfinals.
Talked about Taylor Fritz's tennis IQ, and
15 love.
he has sure done a great job of getting himself into this match and then taking control of it. Got rid of the unforced errors that he was seeing in the first set, found a way to get under the skin a little bit of Casper in the longer exchanges, won a few of those. Started to serve a little bit better as this match has gone on. 22 aces certainly help. This is how you play these big matches and get through them.
Just the perfect service game at this stage for Taylor Fritz. Races through it.
Fritz leads 5-1, fourth set.
What is the major weakness still for Taylor Fritz, Jan-Mike? If you were playing against him, is there a particular area that you'd be targeting?
I don't think there is a major weakness, and I'm not sure there's a weakness at all. I think that he's so good from the baseline. He's able to stay in the long rallies. He's fit. He's not the fastest guy on the tour, but he's quick.
And that's improved massively, hasn't it, his movement?
And he also reads the plays really well, so that helps him be even quicker. He returns serve quite well. He serves amazingly.
Yep.
Sometimes he gets a little bit casual on the volleys. He takes some big cuts at it. A couple of the volleys that he hit today, though, looked pretty clean. So maybe he's starting to do some work at the net on those volleys. Got to make him believe that he needs to.
Yeah, good numbers today at the net. 15 of 20. Don't think he's going to waste too much energy in this return game.
I think Taylor Fritz also quite coachable. He came out here with a strategy to go big. It really wasn't working in the first set, was it? He was missing too many shots. But he didn't doubt the strategy. In fact, he laid into it. Look how it's turned out.
40 love.
See some players with looks over at their box and say, oh, this isn't working. Why are we doing this? Well, you got to agree on it before. You don't just run out there like a lemming and, you know, just do exactly what you're told. But once it's agreed upon, you go out and try to execute it. If it doesn't work, then maybe you go to plan B. He hasn't really had to. Frustration from Ruud there, the serve and volley.
So Ruud holds. Is he just delaying the inevitable, or is this the start of what would be a quite miraculous comeback? Fritz will serve for it at 5-2. So Casper Ruud out of his chair very early. Knows that he's not only got to try and break the Taylor Fritz serve once, but twice to get back into this one. Number 12 seed looking to book his spot in the quarterfinals. Nice start up there. Game with a trusty out wide serve. He's hit that well today. Crazy high percentages in this fourth set, by the way, from Taylor Fritz. 86% on the first. It only has 2. I'm not sure you can be more locked in than that with the big serve. So 2 match points. Well, that was a statement performance from Taylor Fritz, who makes it back-to-back US Open quarterfinals. But he will not be happy with just making the last 8 this year. Is 2024 going to be Taylor's year? Well, if he continues to play as he did for the last couple of hours out here on Armstrong, it could well be. He was magnificent today.